Welcome to episode 58 of the XrmToolCast. In this episode, I'm not quite sure who the guest is because Jonas has come back. So Scott and I hang out with him, talk to him about what's going on, what he's working on, how he's been recovering, and just hang out for a little bit, kind of a fireside chat. We also talk about what we can do as a community to help encourage him by sharing our stories. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with Jonas. Hello and welcome to another episode of the XrmToolCast. With me, your host, Daryl, always raising the bar, and Scott. I didn't have time to think of a good nickname. Daryl. Scott, how's it going?
Very good, Daryl. Even better for having this special person.
Yes,
on the show.
We have our other co-hosts. I guess we can have three co-hosts together on the show, but we're having a little side break from the normal conversations of tools and stuff just to hang out with Jonas and see how he's doing and see what's life in the world of Mr. Jonas. So we don't have any topics per se. We don't have any technical things we want to talk about. We don't have anything besides just a fireside chat. I had a little fireplace. Maybe I should have brought it up. Maybe I can get one on my phone or something, have it up here and have a little fireside chat here with Jonas. But Jonas, how's it going?
Hi. It's great. If I don't think about everything, then it's great. But starting this was so strange. You said the hi from you, Daryl, and from you, Scott, and then I'm like a guest. So
yeah,
he was going to be the guest. Scott, of course. You how do you know? It's all strange for me.
I'm the guest. I'm the guest here. I'm just simply filling the gap until you come back. So let's just say I'm the guest. That makes it easier, right?
Are we all guests? Maybe that's.
Well, it's very philosophical. Yeah, are we all guests in this thing that we call life?
Yes, those are big things. No, but it's great to be back here and just talk a bit of. Actually, I'm very, very interesting in here what you have done. For instance, videos. What's that? You
It's classes, huh?
Videos. So everything has happened since I got out of here.
Well, I've been enjoying seeing you on Twitter, Jonas, like the journey, and it's just amazing how you are documenting it and also, telling everyone how things are going. It's just really inspiring to see that. But also, what's really exciting is that I've seen very recently a focus to start to get back to tech and stuff. So you've been doing like programming and be doing some work on the XRM Toolbox tools and things like that. So that's really good to see.
Yeah, that's a lot to talk about that you say now. But yeah, going to do some code and try the C# and so on. That is really easy, you know that? Because the first is I had to start from zero with Swedish and with English and all languages is really hard. And you know how many words there are? It's like 2 gazillions for each word.
Good word, that language. Gazillion, yeah.
But doing C#, then you have, how many could it be? Like 40 different words that they're using, and the rest is just, do the magics between that. So it's a very few to work with in the code. So it's a lot easier actually. And you don't have to talk to any people also. You can just do it with the computer instead. Only with the left, unfortunately. That's kind of. Could you spread something? It always kills. So try to keep it away from the computer.
The keyboard. Yeah.
Like when the cat walks across the keyboard, it's the same kind of effect. You know?
Yeah, and it's actually when I want to do something from print screen, then I have to play first the down left side to the top on right side. So I cannot do it with one. And then I had to, okay, let's take my thumb and press that. So that's really hard. And it's so annoying for me.
So that's interesting because, like, you know, there's such a big focus on accessibility these days, and quite rightly, right? You know, I think in the past, accessibility is one of those things that hasn't ever had as much airtime and as much focus. So it's interesting. I mean, have you found yourself using some of the sort of the different accessibility shortcuts like arrow keys and tabbing and stuff like that? Anything like that? Or you carry on doing the way you used to do it?
No, before I knew everything I needed. I never ever used the mouse because I always used everything on the keyboard. So I know everything. And now I start from nothing. I remember it's in Visual Studio. There's so many things you do, and it's a double control K, C, and so on to do it.
Yeah.
And I want to find it. And some just come up for me for free, without thinking. Oh, well, I remembered. I didn't know that and others, it's like, I can't find it what I should do. The thing in the keyboard. I don't know what to press. And then I try to find it in the menu instead. Start to click up to the menu, and I have never using the menu, so it's really hard when you do it there. But I mean, it's growing all the time. And when I'm working out, so it's slowly getting better. And it also as far as the first with it was some changes to alter data. One of the tools, it's like remembering the actual names is hard for me. And the things that's not just things that I normally just talk about. When
do you remember how to capitalize them correctly, though? That's the important part.
Yeah, that I know. Of course. It's really yeah. But
it's got a lot of redundancy as well, so that's everywhere, you know.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I remember the start of the names and of a word. Long words are hard, and then I just say I have a doc. I don't have a document, documentation, and you say info instead of informationist or something like that. Then I miss something always. So I said the short ones, or maybe you just stop it after that and you understand what I said anyway. So
you're becoming more efficient then, really. You know, that's what you're saying.
And actually, don't go me to how you spell the words, especially in English. All the words of th and the gh, and well, all those things are something should be done there to make it easier. Why you make it so hard just for how do you write the words? You need to do that. Come on.
I'll blame Scott because he's English.
Yeah,
so,
you have actually done a lot there from US. You say color, no, not color.
We don't put the U in there. No. Why is there a U in there? Doesn't need to be.
I have find it my keyboard it keeps reverting to US keyboard for some reason, so I can never find like the @ and the / and because it always seems for some reason my PC just I get frustrated with little things like that. But I've seen Swedish and I've seen the words, and to me the whole thing just looks so complicated. So how you how you can speak both English and Swedish is beyond me. I mean, it's like those two languages seem so different.
So actually, I'm very glad to talk to you because I need to get my training in speaking English because I really never do that otherwise. I've talked to a few people on Teams and I've made my videos and so on. But and of course I need that before in October go to England and speak in a session. Mm-hmm. So I need to work with my English.
The South Coast Summit. So tell us do a little plug for what you're going to be talking about there.
Yeah, and it's very technical, and the newest thing. No, I don't. Since last half year, I haven't seen anything, so I don't know what's happened in for Microsoft or anything. I don't know what's new and what's good to talk about there. So, but I really want to talk. It's not just because I should be on stage and that's what's something important, but I'll talk about me, my stroke that I had, and then the things that's happened these months, and what am I doing? How do I get better in different things, and how I get worse in some cases as well. And I want to be there to talk about it a little bit before people may learn to know from this and to see how people has affected in some way, or how to work with someone else who has this affected for them, or perhaps your parents or whatever. So, but it's a lot bigger than when I talk about it, and especially when I sort of prepare for this, I think very much about me, how it's been for me, how I'm doing, how what is getting better, and so on. I don't want to lose the things that's happened before me, that during this stroke, and things I'm fixing after that. I don't want to just go there and in 2 years I don't remember what happened this summer. I want to know that. So basically, I'm sorry, I don't firstly do the speech there for the one listen to me, but mainly because I need to do it, and it's a way I work on myself in knowing how to get better, and also to talk about, to speak English. I love being at the. I know that's where you get pumped, and so when you go up on the stage. So it's super scary and very much looking forward.
No, Jonas, I know when you do a technical presentation, you would have a stopwatch out, like a timer. You would rehearse it multiple times and get it, make sure it was in the time window. And you were very, very rehearsed, very, very classy, very well done, tie to the bow and whatever. I tend to be much more of kind of cuff it off the wing and hope it works. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes it's not. Is that going to change for you for this presentation that you're going to give? Are you going to have it more thought out and walk through and try to have a timer and try to guess how long you're going to speak? Or is it more just wing it?
Of course not your way. I want to be the best.
Crazy, Daryl. Why would you do it that way?
Yeah, I mean, I started right on this PowerPoint in middle of June.
Yep.
And so I started there, and since then, for like 1.5 months, it's been growing and it's been changing a lot. I know it's 1.5 months before me now, and it will change all the way too. And of course, checking the times and so on. Because I know I have 40 minutes. I need 40 hours, sorry. No, but I definitely know that speaking for 40 minutes, then I have to cut a lot of things I have to cut for. And actually, my therapist, who's working with how you speak, how I find the language and so on, at my hospital where I'm going. She was like, when she heard that I was going to do this, oh, we gotta hear this, and then, I want to hear everything. Then I was like, nah, not really. I kind of prepare it for myself here. I don't want to sort of try that once. But then I did it once. Everything is Swedish and so on, so it's very rough on what it will end like. But then after doing that, it was actually very good to do the talking to her first. So I'm actually going to go another time, and they will actually get some other people. There will be like 10 or 15 people listening to me, and I will do that too, because okay, I want to prepare. I want to be good and see what's good, what should not be there, and so on. And that's really, really fun to do. So.
Cool. Yeah, I'm still. I went through for most of the PowerPoints I've had to do for North American Summit for Dynamics Communities, and I've got 6 to go through and do, and still haven't even started on one. Or still haven't really gotten started on one. So the other ones are pretty much done. So I feel like I'm almost ahead of the game usually, because I'm usually more of a last minute sort of procrastinator when it comes to going through and doing the PowerPoints. But you're 2 months ahead of time, so you sound like you haven't changed at all.
But you're probably talking about something you've talked about 10 times before. So
not the one that I haven't done yet.
The same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
like
5 of them
year.
are all pretty much regurgitated from previous sessions, but one of them is brand new, and I still have to figure out half of it as well. So, but yeah,
it's uses a completely different part of your brain, talking about tech versus talking about yourself and talking about experiences and stuff. I noticed that when I talk about tech, it comes so naturally. It's just sort of, just like something I'm so practice it. Whereas if I try and describe emotions or feelings or experiences, it's suddenly like, whoa, this is difficult. This is hard stuff.
Yeah, I know that already, definitely. And I mean, when I talk about me and how it's working, and also about how other people are affected to me and what happened to me and so on. I don't want to get any crying anything during these 40 minutes, but I know it may well be that way. But one thing is, you don't want to lose sort of the flow. You want to keep the same flow when you're talking, and I like doing it. But when you get cut somewhere by something, oh shit, I need to take my drawings off. So then you lose the flow you were in, the mojo. But it's also it's a new level of talking to yourself like this, other than the techie. I mean, that's just the techie.
Yeah, that's just tech. It's easy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine that there will be many empty seats in your room. I suspect there's going to be a lot of people coming to see you, and I feel for the people that are on the same time slot as you, because I don't think many people are going to.
But for the other side, I mean, it's a one Saturday, and they have a gazillion sessions as well. So when you go to those, you want to get you want to learn things. You want to learn the techies. I mean, that's why you're there. Why should you spend an hour for a guy talking soft stuff? What's
soft, sappy stuff.
My boss is not going to get me paid to go here if I'm with this soft. No.
Well, if I was going, and I do really wish I was going, I definitely know which session I would be attending. And
we'll see. Yeah, actually, it was yesterday or 2 days ago. They opened the sessions for Scottish Summit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So that's for that one. I put it another level up, which means I actually send in 2 technical sessions as well. So then we say, okay, let's end for February if I get there. That's a more than a year after my stroke. Forgot. Then I should be able to speak English and to talk about my techies. So, well, yeah. But it's also something very good to sort of you put this is where I want to go. I'm here, or I don't know which way, but I am here, but I want to go there. So then you'd say, okay, this is my goal, and one is very good. You have this time, that room, you should be there. Okay, then I have to get there.
Right, it's great to have goals, isn't it? It's to kind of keep you. It's like I don't know if you read Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Like one of them is start with the end first. You know, you start with where you want to be, and then you aim towards there. And I think setting a goal that maybe you're not going to be able to easily achieve as well is a good thing. You know, so I think it's a very good way of keeping yourself moving forwards. I mean, whenever I submit stuff to speak about, I tend to always submit things that I want to be able to speak about, not that I can speak about now, which is a little bit risky, but
there's nothing like a deadline to accomplish something.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I've heard that from many people that they have done just that. You said in this session that I don't know, but now I will know it by then. And it's a good thing. I mean, to be talking to people, then you really have to be good at it as well. So it's a better way to get better.
Yeah, definitely. There's a sure way of finding out if you know about something is trying to teach somebody else. As soon as you try to teach somebody else about something and you suddenly realize, actually, no, I don't understand this enough to be able to teach. Need to go back and work out how this works.
Totally could happen. I was thinking about, as we talked about being able to speak techie and non-techie, I think Scott Hanselman has to be like the best person I know of that can be just as entertaining techie as he is non-techie. And I know that he spent some time doing like stand-up comedy. So maybe, Jonas, you need to get out and start doing some stand-up comedy routines just to practice those muscles in your brain, no?
No. I will be very funny, but not on the stage. Or maybe, but I can be funny on the stage when I'm doing my session as well. But I'm talking about techie, but with fun things. So now I'm not looking for that. I'm sorry.
All right, just thought maybe it'd be fun. I know one time we told some dad jokes on the podcast, and somebody commented on Twitter, is like, I told your dad joke to my kids, and they didn't laugh. Now I'm looking for new kids.
Yeah, and okay. To go back to my problem I have with the languages and with the speaking and all, it's also I'm really bad at jokes because since when you talk, everything you say, I have to work my brain really hard to sort of getting and understand what you're talking about, and just in the same way.
I can see your brain sweating.
Yes. And exactly when I talk, it's the same. I have to think so much more. I mean, I guess so, both you two, you don't think about speaking. You have no idea what you're actually saying. You're speaking. You don't have to think. But I have to. So the funny things that people say, it's hard to grab it. What was fun, and then and it's always like this. If I laugh, I'm laughing like 2 seconds after, or 10 minutes after. That was fun. So that part that you said now, oh, that's fun. But guys, and also with my techies, and I'm actually getting back to work now and then, and when they talk about the work with me, I understand what they're talking about. But then when they get to a techie word, it could be so simple as power apps or whatever like that. Some really simple things that we of course know what it is. But for me, I thought, oh shit, I know that word. And then when I actually I use letters. Let's see how you spell the word. That's, geez, of course, then I know what it is. So, which I don't, and that's actually, I wrote it in my blog a few weeks back when you guys were talking to David, the Frenchy guy from Canada. When you talk to
Rivard,
him,
yes.
and it's really funny. It was it's a very good session. Well, I got about 5 minutes before I have to stop. No, but when I listen to it, and it's like, okay, now you're saying what? I know the word you're saying. I have to pause the when you're talking, I pause that, and then I try something. I try to write the thing I hear from you, but then I can rewind and hear it again and hear it again. Okay, now I know how you're spelling this. And then, okay, that it was. And when I spelled it, it was so simple. So it's so crazy here because when I'm listening to you, it's so much easier to hear you speak than you send me an email and I should read it. That's really hard. But some words, I need them right. So actually, names of people. So you mentioned someone who was, Daryl, you mentioned someone, was it
Scott Hanselman?
Yeah.
Scott Hanselman, yeah.
Yeah, now I understand, because you really got it slow. But you said it like normal fast, and then I lose it. I lose the speaking. So it can be really hard when there's many people talking about it with their normal time and how they speak. I was like, oh shit. I'll say looking at the tree outside instead. So I can lose them. So it will be actually very special also, and nervous when I go to England and meet a lot of people that I know, and how that will be when we get there and actually sitting at a bar and talking, and we'll see how that works.
So if I'm talking to you and you just start looking out the window at a tree, then I what you're saying is I shouldn't take it personally. You know, it's
Oh no. When I watch
at least you have an excuse,
you have that I hope I could drink, because I drink a little beer or so, and perhaps wine, but I can't take a lot, of course.
Oh, well,
Which is that's the worst thing. Okay, my brain, my head was breathe, and my hand doesn't work any good, and my foot doesn't work good.
Yeah, we all get like
but
that.
The worst
so, you know.
is no more alcohol.
Welcome to my world, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yes, but your body is okay.
I'm sorry, personal choice here. So you're having to do stuff for brain, for communication, relearning how to communicate, learning in other languages, reading and having to interpret and correlating names and things like that. Those are all things that you're continuing to work on mentally. How is the motor skills? Is that stuff that is continuing to be working on as well, or is that kind of like who knows if that's going to change?
Are you talking about the physics things?
Physical, yeah. Being able to use your limbs how you used to be able to.
Okay.
Appendages.
My right leg and the foot. It's like they walk really ugly, and you always look like you're drunk when you're walking.
Three sheets to the wind.
Without being.
In Southampton, when you go to Southampton, you'll just look. Most people I see on the street in Southampton are drunk anyway, so it will look you just blend right in.
That's good. Yeah. So anyway, the improvements from in the last 6 months is about 0, but it's more or less the same. I live probably a bit better, I was hoping that this summer I was gonna do training a lot and work out and so on to make sure it should get better before the after the summer. Then I have all other things that I'm doing. I don't have time to do all the trainings that I needed on summer. So I was gonna train a lot, and then it up the tape. I'm sorry. Then I couldn't do it, but. It was getting better. It was getting worse in some cases, and also the hand, which is now I could just have something cut off. No, it has gone so much worse now. It was so much better when I was like when I talked to you first time. My arm was looking good, but now it's worse. So we hope it will get. We hope it will get better, but they have some ideas from the doctors and so on.
Interesting.
Actually, yesterday I got some
acupuncture.
They put something in there.
A needle.
Yeah.
Scope.
Needle, exactly. They put, I think, about 10 times on the arm here, and there's Botox, the things
Botox?
you have, the
Botox.
Girls have in
Botox.
I thought your arm was looking really attractive, actually. Yeah,
yeah, it's really
it's quite
really
youthful.
bad. It's something that kills you, actually, which I put in my arm, because then they could so not kill, but make my nerves a bit less. They should, because they're doing one thing when I use my hand, then it's really hard to let go out, to actually get out the fingers. It's just that do before my nerves go there and say, okay, you need to get it real, my fist, and no, it will hopefully get better. And it's about training, and the things I need is we have to be very good at keep workout with the things on my body, which of course it's hard for me, because being at the gym was fun. When I was training, that was fun, and the things that was not fun, I didn't do that. You didn't need to, and now I have to do things that are even though there's nothing showing it's getting better. So I can't really see it's getting better. And the normal thing you do is, then I won't do anything of that, and that's boring in doing that. So it's really hard to say me at the working and working with a hand to move a bit. It's such boring. Then just put it behind me instead and start working on the computer instead.
Cool.
Well, you're always inspirational going to the gym and everything. I always, every time events and stuff, you're always out for runs and stuff. So I know you'll stick at it, and because you've got that, that self-discipline that many of us really don't have.
No, it was fun. It was a good. And then you go have beers. It was so great. Sort of get tired, show up, or take a shower, and then go having beers. There's nothing wrong with that. And also, I never had to do it. I did it because it was fun. And I want to try this gym at this hotel or whatever. Or usually when I was going to Seattle, then it was okay. I wake up at 5 a.m. and now I can't sleep anymore. So you can go out and run, and then after some more time, then okay, now we can get some breakfast. But it was just when you jet lag.
Yeah.
And also, it's good to come home and say, "Hey, I was running all over wherever I was in the U.S."
Yeah, it's fun. I went on a hike with my son. We had a 10-year-old adventure this last week where we went to Tennessee and we hiked throughout the Smoky Mountains, and we only did two hikes. One was just under 3 miles. The other one was 5. That's one way, so it was 10 and 6 total. But it was fun. It was challenging. It was great to be outdoors and be in a place that had mountains rather than flat plains of Indiana. And it was just it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And enjoyed it immensely. So yeah, that's being used to that and then not being able to do that is really really annoying. I remember being in football and pulling a hamstring and like not being able to run at all. And usually running was like punishment, right? And then, once it got better and I could actually run again, it's like, oh, this is so great. I could feel the wind like blowing through my face and stuff. So, yeah, it was, I have nowhere near that feeling, but I've got at least a small feeling of what it might be like to have that on an extended basis. So, yeah, it's a challenge.
That's also, go running. It's great for your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Go out running and then sort of get everything off your brain and just run. So, well, that will come one day, I hope.
Okay.
It's like when I talked to Heidi, the MVP.
Uh-huh.
She lives somewhere in US, but she was running like crazy. And she was so glad after she got a stroke like 11 years ago. Her leg was not didn't get anything bad. So she was good there. Her hand was like mine, but she could still be running. And, I have a little things to do with the leg. Then I'll go running.
All right. Well, let's try out this joke part of your brain. Okay. I'll tell a joke. We'll see if you get it. Okay. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Why do ducks have feathers?
Have feathers?
Why do ducks have feathers?
I don't know. I need to go check out feathers.
Feathers.
Ducks. I know what ducks is. It's already the small birds. The birds in the water. Yeah.
And then the feathers are the things that are on their wings that light things that float through the air and they follow feathers, right?
Oh.
So why do ducks? Yeah, okay. Why do ducks have feathers?
No, I don't know.
To hide their butt quack.
Oh, now it should be fun.
That was the punchline. To hide their butt quack. Yes. So rather than butt crack,
did you
it's a
laugh?
butt quack because
Should help
ducks
me
say
there.
quack.
No
All
fun.
right.
It really, Jonas, it's not worth even explaining. It's such a bad.
But I would definitely say you need to send that on to me, email it to me, then I can read it and I can understand it. And when that's done, I will send you a haha.
But you won't though. You'll just send like a groaning emoji.
Not funny. You could set a not funny. That totally works too. Yes. Well, and you also have excuses for things now too. Like for me, like, what's my third kid's name? Like, I don't have any excuse for not remembering my kid's name, but at least you have an excuse of, oh, I'm sorry. Have I met you before? I had a stroke. I don't remember. You have an excuse. So that's at least one positive thing that comes out of it. If you have valid excuses.
They don't think it's fun anymore here. Because that thing, they're setting not just not the right name. When I speak into my family that is here, and I always said the names are right, but it's the wrong person. So because especially my kids and my wife's kids as well, I talk to her, but instead of speaking to, I'm talking to his name instead. So I said the wrong names in it, and actually, Linda was my wife. Also, a bit too many times I've called her mom. Oh, no, it's not my mother who is 77 years. It's bad. And also, you shouldn't even say this, but also telling her the ex instead of my wife, but the ex's name.
They're not cutting you any slack at home then. They're really not.
No, but I have stroke. I have the stroke. I have aphasia. I don't know anything.
I remember that the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me as a child at school was calling my teacher Dad. That was literally the most embarrassing thing, which I never ever live down. So yeah, I can imagine it's.
And always saying he and her. Mm-hmm. That's the same. He and him, he, him. Mom, don't remember, is a girl or is it a boy? I don't give a shit. I can say anything. And I said him to my daughter and her to the sons. Just, I think mainly because when I'm at home, I don't have to think about speaking. But I just speak from my heart or something without thinking.
You're in autopilot mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then you go crazy. No, not you.
Yeah.
Miss.
Totally. So Jonas, is there anything our listeners could do that would be encouraging for you in the next week or month here or year? Should we try to tweet like as many ASCII art emojis as we can? Should we everyone go vote on the Fetch XML builder so you know the name of your tools? Like what's something that we could do to encourage you?
I'd like to hear about other people who have some other or the same problem, if they've had a stroke or something else, or some other things that they don't really talk about. Because that is many people says to me that, wow, it's so gladly, and they're so glad that they see what I put out on my blog or on my videos that I'm doing and so on. They're very glad that I talk about it, and they said so many people just they are off. You don't see them anymore. they don't talk about it, about anything, and well, they don't talk about it. I think it's really good to talk about it. I don't share for myself because yes, I should be good to share my things. It's like, Jesus, I have to get it out because there's so much in me that I want to get out, and it's actually like the session we talked about. This is my life right now that I know. So okay, today I don't write about the techie blog, but so now my life is so much even right now within my life. So I think that's really important to hear from other people as well, also, and how they are taking it today, how they are if it was long ago, and so on, and sort of to see how people feel about this. How they see. You don't have to set in something on my toes. That's okay. That's already.
All right. Cool. So just be willing to share things that are things that they've maybe struggled with, or things that they're working through, or just share stories, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and you have no idea what people shares or what they want to share. They don't know. They maybe don't have any know themselves what you want to share, but just to get out of the having the possibility to talk to someone about it. I think that's really important.
Awesome.
Well, Jonas, it's great hanging out with you. Great talking to you again. It's been a long time since we've actually chatted, video chatted. And there was a huge difference between the first time I talked to you after the stroke and the second to the third. And even from that, I think third or fourth time until now, there's still improvement upon improvement. So I know it's kind of like when you have a baby and you see the baby every day, you don't notice changes. Then you leave for a week and you come back, you're like, whoa, this is like a new kid. He's like saying 5 new words, or whatever. So I just offer that sort of encouragement of yeah, things are
that's the same for me. After meeting my wife's sister, we met like a few times this summer, and every time she said, "Wow, what's happened since last time?" And so now I just yeah, maybe it is getting better now, but I don't see it from day to day. But on the other hand, as I said, I shouldn't say that just because we're close enough. But just I was talking as I'm speaking to people, and the thing that I think about it all the time. I also now and there I get this. Now I said that word. So word you didn't know anything. I could never have said that in the summer earlier. But I did it. It's like, hey, I don't have. It's just like a second. I just realized now this is bad. So you have to also look at how is it getting better for me, because that's all you want. It's so important to know that you get better. If you don't think about it, then you don't think it sucks.
That's a really good lesson for everyone. Focus on the victories, focus on the positives. I think that's really good advice. It's very easy to focus on the negatives, isn't it?
It's not about how I'm speaking, but it's about your PCF or whatever you're calling.
Yeah.
Oh, I know one PCF.
Excellent advice, Jonas.
All right. We're going to end the rest of the show just giving Buzz technical words, just so Jonas feels like he doesn't know anything again, just to after we brought him up, we got to bring him down again, just to level him out. So, well, Jonas, thanks for coming on. It's great. I have your contact information, so I don't need to ask, but I'll ask. I'm assuming the normal Twitter for you and LinkedIn for you, for anyone that wants to get in touch with you, is the best way, or do you have a new way post injury that you would like to share for people to get a hold of? You have your blog and stuff you're doing too, I guess.
I can try, but that's really hard. But okay, Twitter, good. And the blog is jonasr.app. Jonas Rapp, like my name, but you put there's a bot in the wrong place. And then the thing where I'm working right now is stroke.jonasr.app. Damn, so close.
It's a winner. It's a winner in my book. It's a winner in my book.
Okay, thank you.
And this is the part of the show where I usually go to my co-host Scott. I'm gonna go to Jonas. Jonas, do you remember how people, if they want to get hold of us at the XrmToolCast, how they can get hold of us?
I think I know it now. It was really hard to say the right thing this spring when I was doing videos for it, but XrmToolCast at XrmToolBox.com.
Yeah.
Is that
all right? It was you made it more complicated. It's just cast at XrmToolBox.
Oh, only cast. Yeah, right.
Only cast.
That's it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Do it, Scott.
Well, I mean, I was saying, you're just so close. You almost passed. You realize if you passed that test, then that would be it. You'd be back on the show.
Yes, I'd be kicking Scott off. Scott, you've been you haven't filled out this whole space. I want Jonas back.
I sent an email to someone, which is always so close to the right. When you do it a little miss, then no one will get that email.
Yes, so yes, but it is the simpler one. So the cast at XrmToolbox.com. So next time you go on, just rehearse that beforehand, and then you can pass the test, and then
Well, the one reason I made Jonas do it at the beginning was because I couldn't remember it myself.
So that's why it's what to say.
Yes,
that's literally the only reason. Yeah.
Yes. Just like last time we had at our episode, I even forgot to ask our guests to share their contact information. I always do that, and I realized I never let English actually share his contact information. So I was like, oh, dang it, I forgot that. But oh well. Well, Jonas, it's great talking to you. I've got to head out. Scott, great talking to you as well. And look forward to talking in the future, and good luck with your South Coast Summit speaking engagement, Jonas.
Yeah, it'll be fun. If COVID will let me go there.
So it does. All right.
Great chatting, Jonas.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers. See you.
This has been the XrmToolCast with Jonas Rapp and Daryl Labar. If you have any questions for Jonas or I, or suggestions for future episodes, please send them to cast@XrmToolbox.com or tweet to XrmToolCast.